As we've heard earlier, hundreds of prisoners are due to be freed as part of this ceasefire deal. The first group of 90 is scheduled to be released in the West Bank within hours. In the Israeli-occupied West Bank, families are waiting in the cold to welcome their loved ones after their release from Israeli detention. In the Gaza Strip, meanwhile, 8 trucks have begun to arrive carrying desperately needed supplies. According to Gaza's health ministry, which is controlled by Hamas, more than 46,000 Palestinians have been killed since the beginning of the war. DW correspondent Emily Gordine is in Beitunia in the West Bank, where the Palestinian prisoners are due to be released today as part of the first phase of the ceasefire deal. And she sent us this update.
A few hundred people have gathered here west of Ramallah in Beitunia in anticipation of the prisoners that will be released from Israeli prisons as part of the ceasefire deal between Hamas and the Israeli government. Now we're expecting around about 90 prisoners to be released, among them mainly women and minors from the West Bank, the occupied West Bank, but also from Jerusalem. Now many of them have been held captive or have been held in prisons under so-called administrative detention. That means they've been held there for an undefined period of time without charges and with no trial in sight. So many here are jubilant that they will soon be seeing their loved ones, many of them underage, back in their homes.
And we're now joined by Dr. Hassan Jabareen, General Director for Adala, that's the Legal Center for Arab Minority Rights in Haifa in Israel. Welcome to the program. You are legally representing Palestinians in Israel, but also in Gaza and in the West Bank. Can you tell us, how do Palestinians view this agreement and the ceasefire going into effect today?
Hi, good evening, and thank you for inviting me. Today, it seems that it's very happy moment for the Palestinians. We see that the people in West Bank, in Israel, the Palestinians, and in Gaza, and in Jordan, other places are celebrating this moment. The main question could be how people in Gaza that they faced what they faced, and almost 100,000 persons were killed and disappeared. From 2 million, also almost we speak about 5% of the people, and Gaza itself was destroyed. No hospitals, no schools, no universities. 70% of the houses were destroyed, and nothing almost left from the services. And despite that, people are celebrating, people are going to the street and express it as happy moment. What is the explanation? I really could ask myself, and I ask myself, the explanation is one, because those people feel that they succeeded to survive, they succeeded to live.
Now,
and because
as part of this deal,
Gaza,
sorry for interrupting you there, as part of this deal, 90 Palestinian prisoners are being released today. We're just seeing live images from where they're being held. What can you tell us about these prisoners?
Now, this wave will be released 734 each week, some of them. 236 from the total will be deported, and they cannot live in West Bank and not in Gaza. Those people considered from Israel perspective are heavy prisoners. You have 69 will be women, 25 minors, 49 people they were under administrative detention, meaning they were in detention without guilt. This is the meaning of administrative detention, without trial. And you have 89 from the group that they were arrested from Gaza before the war. 35 persons for incitement crime, meaning freedom of expression crime. This is the data that we will see. In the end, based on this deal, in the end, 2,000 persons will be released, and half of them, like 2,000 in this wave and in the next one, like in 2 stages. And half of them were arrested after the war. So many of the group, they are not heavy political prisoners, except the 236. But despite the fact, when you speak about 236 persons, that they were sentences for life and some of them for second lives, that's mean that you save those persons and they can live with this, with their family. Generally, there is satisfaction feeling from the Palestinian side, mainly now because the ceasefire, mainly now because the war is stopped, mainly because you stop the killing, even more than the release of the prisoners themselves. Yes, of course, the families of each prisoner will be happy, but the general feeling of the Palestinian, not because the content of the deal, but because the ceasefire. Now people can know that today you are not going to be killed and you are not under risk to be killed, not you and not your family. This is a huge thing because what passed Gaza, it's beyond imagination. This place is the only place that we can say in this century that the language of the place was changed. Today you cannot say, if you are from Gaza, I am going home, because there is no home to go. You cannot say I am going to the university because there is no university to go to. You cannot say I am going to the hospital because there is no hospital to go. I cannot say to you, let us meet in this and that street, because there is no addresses, no place, or everything was destroyed. Like also the place and the time is different. Like there is no meaning of night and day, because during the night you have bombing and during the day you have bombing. This place is the most disaster place now in our days in the war. And what is needed now, how to save those people in Gaza, to help them to pass this period and to start to construct Gaza and to construct even, I can say, the person of Gaza, the families. There are families that disappear totally. Yeah, they are not exist anymore. They were exist for 2,000 years. Now they are not.
Dr. Hassan Jabareen, I'm afraid we're running out of time here. Thank you very much for your input.
Thank you.